Saint Augustine commentary on the first letter of John, chapter 3, verse 9 to 18 following. Charity therefore we commend. Charity this epistle commends. The Lord, after his resurrection, what question put he to Peter but, "Do you love me?" And it was not enough to ask it once. A second time also he put none other question. A third time also none other. Although when it came to the third time, Peter, as one who knew not what was the drift of this, was grieved because it seemed as if the Lord did not believe him. Nevertheless, both a first time and a second and a third, he put this question. Thrice fear denied, thrice love confessed. Behold, Peter loved the Lord. What is he to do for the Lord? For think not that he in the psalm did not feel himself at a loss. What to do? What shall I render unto the Lord for all the benefits he has done unto me? Psalm 116, verse 12 and 13. He that said this in the psalm marked what great things had been done for him by God, and sought what he should render to God, and could find nothing. For whatever you would render, from him did you receive it to render. And what did he find to offer in return? That which, as we said, my brethren, he had received from him, that only found he to offer in return. I will receive the cup of salvation, and will call upon the name of the Lord. For who had given him the cup of salvation, but he to whom he wished to offer in return? Now to receive the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord is to be filled with charity, and so filled that not only you shall not hate your brother, but shall be prepared to die for your brother. This is perfect charity, that you be prepared to die for your brother. This the Lord exhibited in himself, who died for all, praying for them by whom he was crucified, and saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Luke chapter 23, verse 34. But if he alone has done this, he was not a master. If he had no disciples who came after him have done this. Men were stoning Stephen, and he knelt down and said, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. Acts 7:59. He loved them that were killing him, since for them also he was dying. Here also the Apostle Paul, and I myself, says he, will be spent for your souls. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 15. For he was among those for whom Stephen, when by their hands he was dying, besought forgiveness. This then is perfect charity. If any man shall have so great charity that he is prepared even to die for his brethren, in that man is perfect charity. But as soon as it is born, it is already quite perfect. That it may be made perfect, it is born. When born, it is nourished. When nourished, it is strengthened. When strengthened, it is perfected. When it has come to perfection, what does he say? To me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. I wished to be dissolved and to be with Christ, which is far better. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is needful for you. Philippians chapter 1 verse 21 and 24. For their sakes he was willing to live, for whose sakes he was prepared to die. And that you may know that it is this perfect charity which that man violates not, and against which that man sins not, who is born of God. This is what the Lord said to Peter, Peter, do you love me? And he answers, I love. He said not, if you love me, shew kindness to me. For when the Lord was in mortal flesh, he hungered, he thirsted. At that time when he hungered and thirsted, he was taken in as a guest. Those who had the means ministered unto him of their substance, as we read in the Gospel. Zacchaeus entertained him as his guest. He was saved from his disease by entertaining the physician. From what disease? The disease of avarice. For he was very rich, and the chief of the publicans, Mark, the man made whole from the disease of avarice. Mark, the man made whole from the disease of avarice. The half of my goods I give to the poor, and if I have taken anything from any man, I will restore him fourfold. That he kept the other half was not to enjoy it, but to pay his debts. Well, he at that time entertained the physician as his guest, because there was infirmity of the flesh in the Lord, to which men might show this kindness. And this because it was his will to grant this very thing to them that did him kind service. And this because it was his will to grant this very thing to them that did him kind service. For the benefit was to them that did the service, not to him. For could he to whom angels ministered require this man's kindness? Not even his servant Elijah, to whom he sent bread and flesh by the ravens upon a certain occasion, had need of this. 1 Kings chapter 17 verse 4-9. And yet, that a religious widow might be blessed, the servant of God is sent, and he whom God in secret did feel is fed by the widow. But still, although by the means of these servants of God, those who consider their need get good to themselves, in respect of that reward most manifestly set forth by the Lord in the Gospel. He that receives a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And he that receives a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Matthew chapter 10 verse 41 and 42. Although then they that do this do it to their own good, yet neither could this kind office be done to him when about to ascend into heaven. What could Peter, who loved him, render unto him? Hear what? Feed my sheep, i.e., do for the brethren that which I have done for you. I redeemed all with my blood. Hesitate not to die for confession of the truth, that the rest may imitate you. But this, as we have said, brethren, is perfect charity. He that is born of God has it. Have it. Mark, my beloved, see what I say. Behold, a man has received the sacrament of that birth, being baptized. He has the sacrament and a great sacrament, divine, holy, ineffable. Consider what a sacrament, to make him a new man by remission of all sins. Nevertheless, let him look well to the heart, whether that be thoroughly done there, which is done in the body. Let him see whether we have charity, and then say, I am born of God. If, however, he have it not, he has indeed the soldier's mark upon him, but he roams as a deserter. Let him have charity. Otherwise, let him not say that he is born of God. But he says, I have the sacrament. Here the apostle, if I know all mysteries and have all faith, so that I can remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 2 and 1 John chapter 2 verse 11.